so I like for you to tell me if everything sounds okay, because every once in a while we will have technical difficulties. So if you would do me a favor and hit the little heart or the thumbs up, that would be wonderful, so that I will know that you can hear and you can see us. That always helps. Miss Victoria is here with me right now, and she is going to read the comments on both Facebook and YouTube. So please don't hesitate to comment or ask questions as we go. So today we are actually going to make an arrangement. Callie picked out this fantastic container. It's actually just a glass container. It was probably donated to us because I do not remember purchasing it, but you know, you never know. But it's really a very pretty container. So we are going to design or arrange some beautiful Queen Anne's lace. Now this morning, I'm not sure if you saw that video, but I did a video of harvesting Queen Anne's lace, and I also cut some clover, some blooming clover. Today I'm going to work with the Queen Anne's lace, and I'm so excited to do so. Everything that I'm working with today was harvested, either out of the yard here at the flower shop or out of the pasture. So watch as we put this together. So this container is all glass. It's actually got a kind of a little design bowl here on top. Now the only problem with it being clear is you will be able to see my fresh floral foam through the glass. And so I don't love that. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to line the container with some foil paper to help us disguise the fresh floral foam. So you've heard me talk about foil paper before. It comes on a roll, and we use foil paper to wrap plants usually, or to line containers. This foil paper happens to be silver. It comes in tons of colors. Like, you would be surprised at how many colors foil paper comes in, but it comes in a silver. Now on the inside of the paper it's green, but the outside is silver. So my thoughts were, I'm going to take this foil paper and I'm going to lay it right down into this bowl. And then I have taken some fresh floral foam, and what I did was I cut a third of the block off. I'm going to just put this back into my container of water, and I can use this on another project. I'm going to take this 2/3 of a block, and I'm just going to lay it right here in the top of my container, just like that. Now I'm going to take a pair of scissors, and I'm going to trim up this foil. I'm going to go all the way around and trim up this foil.
We have lots of hellos.
Hello friends, thank you for being here today, and they can hear us good? Everything's good?
On YouTube, Bonita says, hi, first time with you going live. You are an absolutely amazing designer. I'm learning so much. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of folding down this foil paper, just kind of tucking it right into the container. Again, it's really just to disguise my foam, okay? So next what I'm going to do is I am going to take, this is actually a clear tape, and it's tiny. It's a tiny clear tape. We use this often to grid vases so that you can't see it because it's just kind of clear. You can use waterproof tape, that would be fine, but I just thought on this glass, the clear tape would really look better than the green, and I wouldn't have to worry about covering it up. Now, quite honestly, my nose is itching so bad. Why does it always do that? Quite honestly, this is really just for us. This is for fun. This is not for anybody in particular. It's for fun. So I easily could have just done green and it not been a big deal. But I thought I would show you, you can't see where I taped it. And so I don't have to worry about covering that up. That's always nice, right? Okay, so we're going to start out, goodness gracious, my nose. We're going to start out with some greenery. Now, I might need your help because I don't know what type of greenery this is. This grows outside in my, in the yard here at the flower shop. And I did a quick reel, and I will post that. But but I don't know what it is. I said it was a privet, and my mother came and said, that is not privet, you silly girl. I don't know what it is, but it's not privet. But it holds up beautifully. And you've heard me tell you, if you've watched me any amount of time, go out and cut foliage from your yard, put it in a vase of water, see if it holds up. If it holds up, use it. If it doesn't, just know you can't use that as a cut foliage. Well, this is one of those foliages that holds up really well. So I'm going to use it in this fun arrangement. So I'm just taking the stem, I stripped it down because I don't need it quite that long. I'm cutting that at an angle, and I'm just tucking that right into my floral foam.
Martha Hunt asks if we can, let me find it. Can you show the bottom of the container?
Yes. Is it not, can you not see it in that picture, Victoria?
Well, it's a little taller.
Okay.
So.
Can you see it there?
Yeah.
Can you see it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of got a pedestal. It's a very interesting container. It's got a pedestal, and then this is almost, I would say that's probably about 8 or 9 inches in diameter, and it's just a round dish that's, it's almost glued to the pedestal. It's made that way, but it's really very pretty.
On YouTube, Vernice Thomas says, thank you for sharing your beautiful designs. I always enjoy your floral creations and tips. Viewing from Georgia.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Okay, so when working with things out of your yard, be careful because you might find a little friend has come in with you. So be careful and always watch and make sure you don't have any little bugs or anything on your foliage. So I'm just kind of taking this foliage and I'm going all the way around. I just thought we would do a really showy arrangement with our foliage and with our Queen Anne's lace.
Oh, Miss Shirley sent 50 stars and says, love to all of you.
Oh, thank you, Shirley. Thank you so much for the stars. I appreciate that so much. Okay, so I'm really just taking my foliage and I'm just kind of greening my container out. I'm leaving it kind of long and kind of dramatic because it's just kind of fun.
It's pretty though, all that
Isn't that kind of fun? It's already fun, isn't it? So I'm just taking my floral knife, and you can absolutely use snips, and of course my nose is just going to itch, and I apologize, y'all. But you can just take your snips if you don't use a floral knife, and you can certainly cut that foliage. But I'm just taking it and cutting it at an angle, and I'm just tucking it right into that floral foam. Now the nice thing, goodness gracious, the nice thing about this container is this bowl is deep enough to hold water. So you can put water in the reservoir and it's going to keep those flowers hydrated. But now with this short dish, you're going to want to probably water it every day so it'll last longer for you. The fun part about this arrangement is it didn't cost anything. Everything that you're seeing me work with, I cut out of the yard. So it's something that you can do with just about anything that's growing. So I wanted to kind of make that idea, give you an idea of how you can use stuff that's growing wild or something that you planted. Why is it when you get on live, your nose itches? What in the world?
Miss Jeanette says, love watching you every day.
Oh, thank you, Jeanette. Thank you. I enjoy doing this. It's so much fun. Okay, so there is, I'm not sure the name of this foliage. Please tell me if you know it. There's that foliage. Next, we're going to come in with some Nandina. Now, here at the flower shop, this was an old homestead or an old house place, and kind of out in our woods, we have Nandina growing. And so we have found that you can cut this Nandina. Can you see it, Victoria? Mm-hmm. You can cut this Nandina and it grows back very quickly. Nandina is kind of a lacy shrub here in Mississippi, and it just grows and grows and grows. The more you cut it, the more it grows. And so I went and cut us a good handful, and I'm just going to take it and I'm going to fill in the spaces. I'm going to kind of cover that foam.
Miss Amy says, hello from Brookwood, Alabama. I have been excited about this arrangement all day.
Oh, Amy, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Yeah, this was Robbie's idea. I was so thankful. You know, sometimes it's hard. You get in a rut. You feel like I'm never going to come up with anything fun. What am I going to do? And so Robbie said, she was so funny, I've got pasture weeds growing. You need to come and cut them. And so I said, you know, it would be a fun video to go out and cut them in the morning and then to use those same flowers in the evening. And so it was a wonderful idea. And so I was so thankful that Robbie gave me that idea.
Miss Marianne asks, any idea how tall the pedestal is?
I can measure it. Hey, Jason. Did he leave? Will you grab a measuring stick right there for me?
Oh, and Miss Margaret wants to know how to spell Nandina.
Whew, Nandina, I believe.
So.
Thanks, Jason. How do you spell Nandina, Jason?
Nandina.
Yeah, I think that's right. So this pedestal container is 16 inches from the bottom of the container right to the bowl. At the edge of that bowl is 16 inches. And Nandina will get carried away. Like, it will grow and grow and grow to be a very large shrub. And so ours are small because we cut it all the time. But it's a wonderful foliage.
Miss Margaret also says, what an awesome container for a hall table.
Yes, ma'am. It would be lovely, I think. I don't know if I've ever used it before.
Holly says, I'm a designer and have enjoyed so many of your tutorials. I love designing with Queen Anne's lace, and that base is stunning.
Oh, thank you, Holly. Thank you. Yes, it's so much fun to see what other people do with things, isn't it? It makes it makes it nice to come up with different ideas and to say, oh, I love that idea. I'm going to work with that. Or, you know, it's just nice. Okay, so here's my Queen Anne's lace. I've got it in a big bucket here. And so it's kind of in a tangled mess. But what we're going to do is we're just going to do this entire arrangement just in Queen Anne's lace. So Queen Anne's lace here in Mississippi just grows wild. And really where I showed you, it was just a pasture. And so it just grows. And I have been told that you can take Queen Anne's lace and let it dry out. And you can take it and just kind of rub it and let seeds go all in your flower beds, and it'll come back. Now, I have never tried that, but I think I might try that in my flower beds at home, because I sure wouldn't mind having it. So I am just taking this Queen Anne's lace and I am going to go all the way around, and I'm just going to be very dramatic, leaving the stems long and just kind of having fun with it. We're going to put some kind of tight into the arrangement.
Miss Marianne says, thank you, tall enough for a buffet underneath.
Yes, absolutely.
Christy Duncan asks, does Nandina have little red berries on it?
Yes, it does. It does. And I tell you, in the fall, once the cold snap comes, the foliage starts to turn kind of red or burgundy. And it really is so pretty. So you can kind of see how I'm leaving some of the blooms longer, and I'm tucking some shorter down in.
Natural. Love watching you guys every day from Williamsburg, Virginia.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you so much.
A different Miss Linda also says Queen Anne's lace is from the carrot family.
Well, that's what I did not know where it was, which family it was in, but you could cut it and you could smell it. And we thought it was some type of herb, but thank you for telling me that because I couldn't remember. But when you cut those stems, it really has a very, I don't know, I didn't know exactly what herb it was, but oh, it's so pretty, isn't it? It's so fun to work with. So I'm just taking it and I'm just adding blooms all the way through. You can see I'm turning the arrangement and adding a few more here and a few more there.
Roger and Melissa Bryan asks, is there a difference between Queen Anne's lace and ragweed?
Oh, absolutely. I'll have to show you the difference. I'll Google it and show you. But yes.
Miss Jane says Queen Anne's lace grows wild in North Carolina. You can put food coloring in the water and it will change colors.
And I'm actually gonna try that. Because I think that would be so fun. I think we should do that for a video. But thank you for that tip. I think that would be a fun video to do though, don't you? Wouldn't that be fun with the children? Mm-hmm. It's getting to be summertime and that would be something fun to do with the kids. But thank you for that tip. I appreciate it so much.
Miss Vicky says, looks so whimsical.
Isn't that fun? And it was free. Everything I'm putting in there was free.
Miss Linda Sue says, I love Queen Anne's lace. My neighbor has some in her garden. I'm going to borrow some seeds from her. Yes, and so just kind of
just cut a couple of the blooms and just let them dry. And as they dry, you can just take them out and just kind of crush it. This is what I was told. Now, I've not done it, so let me go ahead and say that. But I've heard that you can just kind of crush it in your hands and just sprinkle it throughout that flower bed, and it should come back.
Carl says it's fun to just take what you have and run with it.
Oh, it is so much fun. It's so much fun. And honestly, with something like this, you can have flowers in your home all the time. Just be creative. I did cut the clover, and I think I'm going to use it in a video tomorrow. But the clover has held up all day in water. We've just left it out in a bucket here in the shop, and it has held up. So I've been so excited that it's held up. It's going to be pretty. It's just a sweet little pink bloom that I thought we would use in an arrangement tomorrow.
Miss Linda Juster says that would be beautiful for an outside wedding arrangement.
Oh, I agree. Wouldn't this be lovely?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but quite honestly, couldn't you do the whole wedding? It's almost, haven't you seen them use baby's breath throughout things? Wouldn't this just be as beautiful, just with tons and tons of Queen Anne's lace? Mm-hmm. I mean, we can really have a fancy wedding with free flowers. Or a tea party. Oh, wouldn't it be fun to host a tea party and do Queen Anne's lace arrangements?
Ryan says, gorgeous arrangement, very dramatic. Hello from Middleton, Wisconsin. Great to catch you live again. It's been a while.
So glad you're here. Thank you for watching, Ryan. Thank you for being here. So when I made a Queen Anne's lace arrangement last year, and my mama's first cousin commented, and she said that her mama used to call Queen Anne's lace beggar's lace. And the reason is because it kind of sheds. You got to watch it because it'll shed little tiny white blooms everywhere. And so she said it would get all over the tablecloth, and so they would call it beggar's lace. I don't know if you've ever heard of that before.
Joyce Vineyard says, hello, Monty. Glad to watch you with Queen Anne's lace today.
Thank you, Miss Joyce. Thank you for being here.
Dawn Miller says, I love a tea party.
I know, Dawn Miller. We need to host a tea party.
Oh, Miss Linda says, for your wedding, Victoria?
No, hers is going to be a little fancier than Queen Anne's. Because I get to probably do the flowers. If I don't, my feelings a little hurt, I think. And so it's probably going to be, I don't know though, wouldn't this be so pretty though if we could just do tons and tons and tons of these?
It is. It's very delicate.
Well, and so, I mean, just such a garden, you know, as if you just, like I didn't, as if you just went out and cut it. That's exactly what I did, right?
Yeah.
I just went out, and y'all, I really didn't cut, I didn't cut much. One lady commented on that post, I was cutting it. She said, "Aren't you scared of snakes?" I said, "Girl, I didn't get off in there." I just stayed right on the edge of the road, and I didn't get too far in there.
Holly says, hemlock is a Queen Anne's lace look-alike, but it is poisonous. I believe the stems are purple. Queen Anne's lace is green stem.
Thank you for telling us that. Yes, this is all green. I don't guess I've ever seen it with purple stems.
Mm-hmm.
And is it poisonous to the touch, or is it just poisonous like to eat?
Miss Sudine says, I'm in heaven when I find a patch of Queen Anne's lace.
Oh, isn't it so lovely? We need to have a party so we can use this.
Jesse's Floristry says it would look wonderful in a wedding with some red roses and sunflowers.
Oh, it sure would. It sure would. I could almost though see it. Remember when we did Cecilia's wedding? And we had all of the gardeny look. But she got married in March, and so it wasn't blooming in March.
Yeah. Oh, but it's so pretty.
It is so pretty.
Miss Linda says it should be poisonous to the touch.
Oh. So do you think it would kind of break you out like
Poison ivy?
Poison ivy and poison oak? I will say that I am one of the lucky ones. I'm not allergic to poison ivy and poison oak. Or I have not been up until this moment. Now that's not to say if I got myself into it.
Miss Margaret asks if you got any red clover.
I did not get the red clover. It was not blooming in that area. And so I didn't get the red clover. It's more of a pink color. I love red clover, but I tell you the one thing I found with this pink clover, oh y'all, this is so pretty. The pink clover has pretty good stems, Miss Margaret. Like the stems are really long enough to actually make a pretty arrangement with. And so I was so excited. And I wasn't positive that it was gonna hold up just because I've never cut it before. And it did. It has held in water all day.
Anna says that was me about the snake question.
Well, and I tell you, Anna, I grew up out there in that area. The only time we've ever really seen snakes is close to the water. I've never, but now not to say that I won't, but I've never walked through the pasture and seen just a snake on the ground.
She said, I live in Maine and I'm scared to death of snakes.
Well, it's the bugs that bite me that I don't like. And so we have something we call red bugs here, or chiggers. I don't know if you've ever heard of those. But they're just, you can't even see them, but they're going to bite you. And when they bite, the little bite will last it stays forever. You think they're never going to go away. And they're very itchy. For me, they are very itchy. And so that's the only reason I avoid tall grass, is because the bugs really like me.
Miss Deb says we pled these chigger weeds because in the wild they are covered in chiggers. What would you spray them with before making an arrangement?
So what I would do is I would just leave them outside. And I don't know. I guess we need to look that up. I wonder what wouldn't hurt them. I wonder if you couldn't put just a touch of bleach in some water and then spritz it with the bleach. And that would very likely kill it. But it's just a touch of bleach. But I'll have to do some research and see what you could put on them.
Christina Duncan says Queen Anne's lace and Dara grow like wildflowers. Just remember, once you plant it, you'll never get rid of it. It's like an earwig; it just keeps coming back.
Ooh, I'm glad you said that. But you know, we could even put it out here in just the woods, just because it wouldn't matter if it was out there in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder, does it have to be in full sun? Can it grow in shade? Now, where this was pretty full sun. It didn't have a whole lot of shade.
Joyce Vineyard says that makes a beautiful arrangement. Maybe some person could use this at a wedding and save some money.
Oh, absolutely. This would be, or a wonderful shower. Like if you were hosting a shower, you could do something like this at a shower.
Bonita says, after seeing Queen Anne's lace growing wild along the highways in North Carolina, I've wanted to make an arrangement using Queen Anne's lace, and here you are making the arrangement.
And here we are, friend, and now you know that it's very easy to do. Now, I'm going to tell you, in this fresh floral foam, this Queen Anne's lace is not going to be the happiest. It's not going to hold up for a long period of time, so just know that this would be for a short party, or over the evening it would be fine, but it's not going to be something that you're going to want to put into an arrangement to take to somebody, because it's not going to last forever. It won't last as long as you want it to.
Charlene says, hi, I read that hemlock is the evil cousin to Queen Anne's
Ooh.
lace. It sounds like it.
It sounds like it's not nice.
Jane asks, could you immerse the blooms in water to get rid of the bugs?
And say that again, Victoria. I missed it. I'm sorry.
Could you immerse the blooms in water to get rid of the bugs?
I don't know if it's going to get rid of chiggers, because I don't think water is going to be detrimental to chiggers. You need something that's going to kill them, because they are so bad. They are not fun.
Christina says that Queen Anne's lace loves the sun.
Loves the sun, so it probably wouldn't grow in the woods in too much shade.
Bonita says chiggers burrow, paint the spots with nail polish, deprive them of oxygen, and they die quicker.
Oh, and they're so awful. And my mama used, when we were little children, she used to put us in a bath. After we played so hard outside, she would put us in a bath and put a touch of bleach, and the bleach would help keep them down. But they love me. Oh, they love me. Mm-hmm. I don't know why I'm so sweet.
Sanders says, I watched you this morning when you were harvesting these flowers.
Yes, it was this morning. And you heard all the cars going by. They were headed to school or headed to work. Now, this is one of those arrangements that you can just keep adding, and you wouldn't mess it up. Mm-hmm. Just keep adding more.
Anna says, wouldn't spray roses be beautiful with the Queen
Anne's lace? Oh,
lace?
they would. I agree. I think they would be lovely.
Donna says, it is very pretty, but where's Mommy? She's lost in a lacy jungle.
Oh, I am. I'm hiding back here.
Wayne says, this is beautiful. How are you guys?
We are good, friend. How about you? Oh, it's pretty. It's prettier than I could ever even imagine. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure if I stood back from it, it'd be prettier, because I'm right up in these blooms.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Dolores says, I watched you this morning also, Monty.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Evelyn, I remember when I was young, my aunt did Queen Anne's lace for my mother's dinner party.
Oh, I bet it was so lovely.
Oh, and Wayne says cherry tree leaves would be beautiful in this.
Oh, I agree.
Ooh, it is pretty.
What is it, Victoria? Purdy.
It's purdy.
You got that southern dialect going there, Miss Victoria. All right, guys. Well, there is our very fancy Queen Anne's lace arrangement. Now, what we could do is we could take some of the larger blooms, cut them shorter, and kind of fill in some of this empty space. So like right in here, it's kind of empty. And so you can take some of those blooms and tuck them a little deeper down in there so it doesn't look so foresty down in there. Whoops. Throwing all my tools on the floor.
Oh, a lot of them are saying, several more people are saying they watched you this morning too.
Well, that was fun. I'm so glad you guys were with me. Thanks. Thanks for watching. I just thought it's nice to do something a little different and to kind of show you how you can do things. And I'm so thankful for Robbie for giving me this great idea.
Mm-hmm. Miss Dolores asks, whose arrangement is this?
So it is just because, Miss Dolores, we are doing it. I actually did a video this morning. That's what they were talking about. I did a video early this morning, and I went out and cut this Queen Anne's lace just out of the woods. I mean, out of a pasture. So I wanted to show you how you could harvest just wildflowers, and you can make a beautiful arrangement that is basically free. So the only thing in this arrangement that costs any money is the fresh floral foam. I am using about 2/3 of a piece of fresh floral foam. And that's the only thing in this arrangement that costs anything. Everything else I went and cut out of the yard. But I did a video and showed you how to cut flowers and keep them fresh.
Bobby says the larger blooms are really looking great.
Aren't they so pretty?
Miss Margaret asks, how much is this arrangement? So I guess how much would you sell it for?
Oh gosh. Okay, so let me just say, you can purchase Queen Anne's lace from Budsy. So from my wholesaler or my grower. You know, I buy flowers from a company called Budsy, and I can buy Queen Anne's lace from Budsy. Queen Anne's lace runs about, I actually asked Donna this morning what Queen Anne's lace ran. Now, let me just say that the variety that we can get from Budsy, it comes in different colors. Like there's a chocolate and it's kind of a burgundy color, and then there's the traditional white. It cost about 60 cents a stem cost from my wholesaler. So I have no clue how many stems I put in here, but I bet I've got probably 60 stems. And when you mark up flowers, you mark them up 3.5 times. So we're looking at $2.50 a stem, roughly. Would you say?
Sorry,
you're listening on the other. You're listening to me in your other ear. I would say about $2.50 a stem. So a lot. It would cost a lot. I'm not even sure how many stems I put in there. But if we retailed the flowers $2.50 a stem, it's expensive. But all of this was free. All of this grows wild here in Mississippi. And if you ride up and down the roads in the country, you're going to just see it growing and growing and growing. So I just went out and harvested it. And let me tell you, when you go and cut flowers, you're going to want to cut them early in the morning. So if you cut them early in the morning, they're just happier, and it's easier to keep them hydrated if you cut them early in the morning. And so I just went and cut the flowers, and then this afternoon I cut the foliage. I did cut the Nandina here at the flower shop, and I'm calling it privet, and I know it's not. So if you know what it is, let me know. I cut the other greenery here at the flower shop. So this is a free arrangement because I harvested everything. So this, if you went and did this and cut your own flowers out of your yard, this is something that you could do with the flowers that you harvest.
Jeanette says, looking forward to see you do a bouquet with the clover.
Oh yes, I think that'll be so fun, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Christina says, the sad thing about Queen Anne's lace is that once you pick it, it only lasts about 5 days as a cut flower. I love how you can walk into nature and be able to pick your own flowers and save a little money, especially when Queen Anne's lace is not cheap.
Absolutely. And it really is amazing to me that it's so not cheap. I mean, like, it's amazing to me, and I get it. They have to go harvest it. They have to process it, all the things to make sure that it's going to last for you. So I completely understand that it's not cheap. But when you can get it free, go and cut your own. If you have pretty foliage in your yard, go and cut your foliage. Because you can see all of this material I cut, and look at the statement that you can make with harvested flowers and foliage. It's really pretty.
Linda Jester says, I have watched you 4 times today, including on YouTube. Just realized that. I love watching your video.
Oh goodness, we've got you hooked, don't we, friend?
Christina says Queen Anne's lace for 20 stems is about $59.
Ooh.
I think that's what she said.
That's ridiculous. I mean, and I get it. I completely understand. But wow, especially if you can go harvest it. And y'all go do that. Really, take time. Go and if you have little children, y'all go cut flowers and enjoy time together. Just remember that you really want to harvest in the morning for the most healthy flowers. But take your time. I mean, just go and enjoy nature and cut some flowers and enjoy them. You do not have to purchase flowers to really have beautiful flowers in your home. And if you wanted to, plant a few seeds and watch your flowers grow. That's even more fun. It's so fun to kind of see what you can grow. And you can cut flowers out of your flower bed.
Doretha says, I'm going to stop by the roadside and get some and plant them in my flower bed.
Oh, I think you'll enjoy it. But now, who said it that they will take over your flower bed? So you just have to know that you want them in a place that it's not going to bother you, because they will always be there, right? Isn't that what someone said?
Mm-hmm.
So be careful when doing it. You don't want them to take over.
Vicki Russell says, I used to do this years ago. I went to a field and cut them and put them on my table. They are beautiful.
Oh, aren't they fun? They really, really are. But now they do shed, just a warning, they shed little white blooms. So they're kind of messy, just a warning that they are a little messy. They're pretty.
Deb asks, if it comes in colors, is it dyed? I've only seen white.
Now what we have gotten from Budsy is actually naturally a burgundy color. She calls it a chocolate, I believe. But someone on here a minute ago said they're very easy to dye. So if you've ever dyed carnations, and we're going to do it. I think we'll do a video tomorrow. I'll do a video and we'll dye some. So what you're going to do is add food coloring to your water, cut that stem at an angle, drop it right into that water with food coloring, and it will drink the color of the stem and it's going to dye the flowers. So we'll do a video. It's probably going to be one of those little quick videos, but we're going to play with that, because I think that, well, isn't that fun? Wouldn't that be fun to do with the babies, with your children? It's almost like dyeing Easter eggs, but we're going to dye flowers for our arrangement. But yeah, let's try that. I'll do a video for you and we'll see how it works.
Miss Linda Sue says it is against the law to harvest Queen Anne's lace along the interstate in Arkansas.
Well, that's the interstate. So don't harvest things from the interstate, because I think it's probably illegal most places. So go out into the country, go on an old road, and you can probably, you can easily cut it there. I wouldn't stop on the interstate anyway, probably dangerous. So go to more of an older, and to a slow moving road where you'll see it growing. I cut this out of our family's, on our family's land. We have a big pasture where they don't bush hog, they don't cut it very often, and so I am able to harvest it there. And I cut a lot of, there is a millet that grows out there that I cut usually closer to the fall. That's kind of fun to cut. But I love grass seed. So if you ever see shoots of grass seed coming up, go and cut some of that fun grass seed, especially closer to the fall, because it works so beautifully with leaves and all the different things, but the grass seed is so fun too. So anytime you see something growing that you think is fun, don't cut it where it's illegal, but go cut it and see if it'll hold up, because it's so much fun to work with.
Christina says, I believe you're thinking of Dara. It comes in chocolate and burgundy and light pink.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Yes. And then they're saying, oh, Miss Margaret says we dyed these when we were growing up in Starkville. And then they're saying it's beautiful. It's simply gorgeous.
Isn't it fun? It's so much fun. And it's so pretty and so simple. But guys, you can see what you can do with harvested flowers. It's so easy and so fun, and be creative and have a good time. And again, I am going to do a video for you on dyeing this Queen Anne's lace, and let's see how that turns out, because that would be a fun summer treat with the children, or even just for yourself. I have no little children. I'm just going to do it for myself. Me and Victoria will enjoy it, won't we? Guys, thank you so much for being here with me this afternoon. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you did not see the video this morning that I did, it's a quick video. It was first thing this morning, probably about 8:30 this morning, where I harvested the Queen Anne's lace. You can certainly go back and watch that video. And it kind of shows you how easy it is to harvest flowers, and it kind of gives you a few tips. But please go back and watch that video if you're interested. Guys, thank you for being here with us. Thank you for spending your afternoons with us each afternoon. Thank you, Victoria, for always being here reading for us, because I couldn't do it by myself. It's not nearly as easy or enjoyable without you. Guys, I hope you have a wonderful evening. If you have any questions about how we do things here at this flower shop, you know you can always ask. I will be live first thing in the morning at 8 o'clock, and we will be doing our devotion. So if you are interested in spending a little time with me in the morning, I'll be live in the morning on Facebook around 8 o'clock. Guys, have a wonderful